So after the studying the total pharynx, we are going to last part of the pharynx we are going to deal, that is the muscles of the pharynx. As we have come across in the definition, that is the pharynx is a muscular tube, wide muscular tube. Okay, so wide muscular tube means it has to be made up of muscles, and those muscles we are going to call as muscles of pharynx. So there are some preliminary remarks about the muscles of the pharynx. We call these muscles are the constrictor muscles of the pharynx, or we can call these are the pharyngeal constrictor muscles. So almost all these muscles of the pharynx, they are three constrictors. We are going to have constrictors, and those we call as muscles of the pharynx. So there are some preliminary remarks. You should know this almost all. Here you can see the esophagus continues below, from the pharynx downward continues as the esophagus, where the pharynx beginning at the upper part. So we have the basi-occiput or a basi-sphenoid bone. This is a sphenoid bone, and this is as your view seen, so that you have to remember about the anterior view of the total pharyngeal wall. So wall behind, how it is looks, that you have to remember. Seen from behind, this diagram is seen from behind esophagus totally we are going to see here, and how the pharynx is looks from, that is seen from behind, that is the one which is muscular walls we are going to get. There are some preliminary remarks about the muscles of the pharynx are, when you write the question is asked, describe in detail anatomy of pharynx, means you have to first write introduction, definition, then you have to write about the dimensions, boundaries of the pharynx, then parts of the pharynx, then you have to discuss about the more detail about the nasopharynx, oropharynx, and laryngopharynx. After this, you have to go for the muscles of the pharynx. Muscles of the pharynx we call as as in the definition we have studied, the pharynx is made up of the, that is the muscular, wide muscular tube. So that it is made up of the muscles known as a constrictor muscles. We have the constrictor muscles, and those we are divided into three muscles of pharynx. Those we call as a superior, middle, and inferior constrictor muscles, that you have to remember. Here preliminary remarks about the few points, important points you should remember in the pharynx are: first point relating the muscles of the pharynx are, first one, the muscular wall of the pharynx is formed mainly by the three pairs of the constrictor. You have right and left, right and left, right and left. So that you have the three constrictors muscle. This is we call as a superior constrictor muscle. This is the inferior constrictor muscle, middle constrictor muscle, and this is the inferior constrictor muscle. So superior, middle, and inferior constrictor muscle. The origin of, second point in the remarks, you have to tell, origin of all constrictor are situated anteriorly in relation to the posterior opening of the, we are going to have the nose, mouth, and larynx. From here, the fibers of muscle passes into the lateral and posterior wall of the pharynx. From anteriorly, they are proceeding towards the posterior part of the pharynx. So that you have to remember, that is origins of these all constrictors are situated anteriorly in relation to the posterior opening of the nose, mouth, and larynx. From here, the fibers pass into the lateral and posterior wall of the pharynx. Third remarks in this is, The fibers of the two sides, you have the fibers of the two sides meeting in the midline of the fibrous raphe. Both the side fibers, muscle fibers, they meet in the central midline and it is forming the fibrous raphe. This is centrally both right and left midline joining muscle fibers, and that is we call as a fibrous raphe. Then fourth point, the constrictors are so arranged that these constrictors are so arranged that the the inferior overlaps the middle. So this inferior overlaps the middle overlaps the superior. So they are overlapped. They are not the each other separately situated, but they are overlapped by the inferior constrictor muscle, overlapped by the middle constrictor muscle. Middle constrictor muscles of pharynx are overlapped by the superior constrictor. So this is about the fourth point, preliminary remarks. Then fifth point, lower end of the inferior. This is the lower end of the inferior. This inferior constrictor, lower end of the inferior constrictor muscle continues with the circular muscle of the esophagus. Esophagus has the circular and longitudinal muscles, and we have the circular muscle wall which is continued, that is the inferior part of the, that is the inferior constrictor muscle. So here we have come across the first muscles of the pharynx. Muscles of pharynx are called as a constrictors muscles of the pharynx. They are three pairs: superior, middle, inferior constrictor muscle. And I have told the 5 points relating the muscle introduction, preliminary remarks about the constrictors of the pharynx, and now we are going to deal about the, that is the, what are the origin and insertion points of the pharynx. This all muscles of the pharynx. So I have told the three muscles. You have to remember about the three muscles: superior constrictor, middle constrictor, and inferior constrictor. This you have to remember. So almost all these you have to remember about the almost all these muscles origin points you have to know. That is the,
Sir, screen is not proper.
now it is there.
No, sir.
1 minute. Not seen or seen?
Not seen.
Now
No, sir.
now you can see.
No, sir.
First slide you cannot see.
No, sir.
See now.
No, sir.
Can you see now?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir. It's blank.
Can you see? Some range is there.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Now you can see the all the origin points of the superior constrictor muscle. Here I have told the all three pairs: superior, middle, and inferior constrictor, so that you have to know that is the origin point of the these all. So origin are superior constrictor muscle. This originates from the pterygoid humulus. Means you know the pterygoid bone, pterygomandibular raphe. Raphe means uniting them, the slip of muscle both side. Then medial surface of the mandible at the posterior end of the mylohyoid line. If you studied this in the mandible, and side of the posterior part of the tongue. When you see these all 3 points, they are the 4 points origin of the superior constrictor muscle. I have told posterior, that is pterygohamulus, that is a part, pterygomandibular raphe, medial surface of the mandible at the posterior end of the mylohyoid line, side of the posterior part of the tongue. This is the origin of the superior constrictor muscle. Then going to the second muscle origin, there is a middle constrictor muscle. This middle constrictor muscle originates from the lower part of the styloid ligament and lesser cornea of hyoid bone. You know hyoid bone, upper border of the greater cornea of the hyoid bone. So hyoid bone, so that is a middle constrictor muscle majority, but mandible and tongue attached about the superior constrictor, that you have to remember. Then inferior constrictor muscle, this consists of two parts, thyropharyngeus and cricopharyngeus. We divide into a inferior constrictor into two parts, that is the thyropharyngeus arises from the thyroid cartilage, thyroid to the pharynx. So thyroid cartilage it is arising, and to the pharynx, that is we call as a thyropharyngeus. Cricopharyngeus arises from the cricoid cartilage, so we are going to call as a crico, that is we call as a cricopharyngeus. So these all are the origin points of the superior, middle, inferior constrictor muscles. You have to remember inferior constrictor is subdivided into two parts, thyropharyngeus and cricopharyngeus, that you have to remember. Thyropharyngeus arises from the thyroid cartilage, cricopharyngeus arises from the cricoid cartilage. Then all these three muscles which are taking insertion, that you have to remember here, insertion of all constrictor muscle are inserted into the median raphe on the posterior wall of the pharynx. When you median raphe, posterior wall of the pharynx, it is insertion. So this diagram I have shown you, this is the median raphe. Both the right side, left side, they are arise and they are inserting at the median raphe on the posterior wall. That is the insertion point. Anterior, lateral, and going to the posteriorly. And this is a posteriorly in the midline. They unite all muscle fibers and forming the median raphe, and that is the insertion of the total constrictors of the pharynx. So what is the next is, what are the total pharynx is supplied by the nerve supply. You have to remember here, nerve supply of the pharynx is by the, totally this pharynx is supplied by the pharyngeal branch of the vagus nerve. Then cheaply, we are going to get the middle constrictor plexus is formed, that is a pharyngeal branch of the glossopharyngeal nerve and pharyngeal branch of the superior cervical sympathetic ganglion. So you have to remember nerve supply of the pharynx totally, including the muscles. So you have to tell almost all this the muscles of the pharynx which are supplied by the pharyngeal plexus of nerve, okay, and which lies chiefly on the middle constrictor. And these plexuses are formed by the pharyngeal branch of the vagus, pharyngeal branch of the glossopharyngeal nerve, and pharyngeal branch of the superior cervical sympathetic ganglion. This is about the nerve supply which are supplied by the pharynx. Then motor fibers are derived from the vagus. Through the almost all branches of the vagus, motor fibers are also supplying the pharynx. So this is about the totally about the nerve supply of the pharynx. Then sensory, we have the glossopharyngeal nerve partly through the vagus. So sensory nerve is fibers are from the, we are going to get glossopharyngeal nerve. So almost all this is you have to tell about the nerve supply of the pharynx. That is, you have to tell pharynx is supplied by the pharyngeal plexus of nerve, and these pharyngeal plexus of nerve is formed by the pharyngeal branch of vagus, pharyngeal branches of glossopharyngeal nerve, and pharyngeal branch of superior cervical sympathetic ganglion. And these all branches, they are motor fibers, that is accessory nerve through the branches of the vagus. They all are the motor nerve. Sensory nerve, they are the travel mostly through the glossopharyngeal nerve, partly through the vagus. This is all about the important, very important relating the nerve supply of the pharynx. Going to the blood supply is from the almost all relating the pharynx artery branches coming. Those we call as a ascending pharyngeal branch. You have the almost all these totally. The pharynx is blood supplied by the artery, ascending pharyngeal branch of the external carotid artery, and ascending palatine and tonsillar branch of facial artery. So your dorsal lingual branch of the lingual artery. And we also have the, that is the greater palatine and pharyngeal pterygoid branches of maxillary artery. So you have to remember lingual artery, maxillary artery, facial artery, that is the palatine artery. Then we have the ascending pharyngeal branch, that is the external carotid artery. So pharynx is supplied by almost all these arteries supplying to the pharynx. So when from the plexus of the posterior lateral aspect of the pharynx, the plexus receive the pharyngeal veins, they are drains into the internal jugular vein and facial vein. So whatever I have told in the blood supply, it is supplied by the ascending pharyngeal branch of the external carotid artery, okay, then ascending palatine tonsillar branch of facial artery, then lingual dorsal lingual branch of the lingual artery, then I have told the greater palatine pharyngeal and pterygoid branches of maxillary artery. So these all artery. Then we have the venous drainage plexus on the posterior lateral aspect of the pharynx. This plexus receives the blood from the pharynx and they drains into the venous drainage is drains into the internal jugular vein and facial vein. Then going to the lymphatic drainage of the pharynx, the lymph from the pharynx drain into the retropharyngeal and deep cervical group of lymph nodes. Retropharyngeal group of lymph nodes, and they drain directly into the deep cervical lymph nodes. That is all about the totally about the, we have come across the that is the muscles of the pharynx, and those are named as a, we call as a, that is the constrictor muscles of the pharynx. Then going to the next part, when you see the we have come across the almost all. Now going to the applied anatomy, uh, that is in this we have to see the applied anatomy. In that you must see the almost all three parts of the pharynx and all I have already shown you. So in this diagram we may have the total three parts, that is the pharynx. It is having nasopharynx, oropharynx and laryngopharynx. So now applied anatomy of the pharynx you have to know. In this applied anatomy, first one, we have the inflammation of the pharynx is called as a pharyngitis. We include this all pharynx into the upper respiratory passage. So in even tonsillitis, tonsil and all will be included in the, that is the, we have in the pharynx. So in the pharynx, you have to remember first, that is the pharyngitis, inflammation of the pharynx called as a pharyngitis. So upper respiratory tract infection, that almost all including the nasopharynx, oropharynx and laryngopharynx. The next second important applied anatomy is difficulty in swallowing is known as a dysphagia. As you know, here we have the inferior constrictor will be continuous as a esophagus. So difficulty in swallowing, not difficulty in breathing. Difficulty in breathing is called as a, that we call as an a dyspnea. Difficulty in swallowing is called as an a dysphagia. So this is commonly is the symptoms which is relating to the, that is one which is relates to the pharynx at the lower part laryngopharynx, then it is continuing esophagus, then it may cause the difficulty in that is the swallowing, not difficulty in breathing, because upper part difficulty in breathing pharyngitis is occurs only then there is an sinusitis or lymph nodes like that is lymph nodes present in the lymphatic aggregation present in the nasopharynx. So that you have to remember. If they are enlarged, then causing the difficulty breathing, like in children, adenoids and all. Then we have the pharyngeal diverticulum. Diverticulum means it is a bulging protrusion from the weakest part. So here three muscles are there. When they are in between the two muscles constrictor, there is a part which is weaker. So from this, there is a herniation may occur, and that may form due to the neuromuscular incoordination between the two part, inferior constrictor or whatever the middle constrictor. There is an incoordination that leads into a difficulty in swallowing, and that is commonly is seen in the pharynx. That is we call as a pharyngeal diverticulum. Diverticulum is a bulging protrusion from the that is the weakest part. Where the weakest part in the pharynx, where the two muscles are separating, means middle to the that is we have the inferior to the middle to the superior. Here in between this, there is another this part which is we have the weaker, and there from that due to the bulging pressure that will produce a herniation or bulging, and that we call as a diverticulum. Then I have told the, you have to remember in the adenoids, you have to tell in children, nasopharyngeal lymph nodes, lymphatics, if enlarged, then we call as the adenoids, commonly seen in children. Adults, they are disappears or very negligible. And in children, these lymphatic aggregations are inflamed and swollen that may cause difficulty in breathing. That is we call pathologically enlarged nasopharyngeal tonsils are called as an adenoids. Then I have told the oropharynx tonsillitis. We have told tonsillitis. In this tonsillitis, you have to remember the palatine tonsil, that is tonsillitis you have. And I have told in the oral cavity, oral examination, you can see the tonsillar fossa, that is a situation. Okay, so we have the tonsillitis and surgically removal of tonsil called as that is the tonsillectomy. So tonsillitis, tonsillectomy, adenoids, pathologically enlarged nasopharyngeal uh, lymph nodes or the lymphatics, that is tonsils we call. And these pathologically enlarged nasopharyngeal tonsils we call as in children's commonly seen, that is adenoid. Inflammation of the pharynx called as pharyngitis. Pharyngeal diverticulum, I have told, difficulty in swallowing, that is known as a dysphagia. So almost all disease relates about the, that is a pharynx. Okay, so I have covered almost all the pharynx in the few lecture previously. I have told the introduction, then definition, dimensions, then I have told the boundaries of the pharynx, then I have told the, that is the three parts of the pharynx, pharynx divided into nasopharynx, oropharynx and laryngopharynx. Then I have told the that is a more detail about the nasopharynx, oropharynx and laryngopharynx. Then lastly, I have today covered the muscles of the pharynx, and in this you have come across the muscles of pharynx. We have come across the superior constrictor, middle constrictor, and inferior constrictor muscle. Muscles of pharynx, constrictor we call, should not be confused with the larynx muscle. Larynx muscle, 9 muscle, they are cricothyroid to the all vocalis. That is you have to know. And pharynx itself, it is having the muscles of pharynx, superior, middle, and inferior constrictor. That you have to remember. Then next comes about the, in this diagram, all the, you show, get the superior, middle, and inferior constrictor muscle. Thyropharyngeal part, cricopharyngeal part, they are seen in the inferior constrictor muscle. And we have pharyngeo basilar fascia, pharyngeal tubercle basis sphenoid bone. Here you have the styloid process, styloid ligament, and stylopharyngeus. These are the fibers you get, and this is median raphe. We are going to have the here median raphe, that is the insertion point of the pharynx. Is very easily those fibers goes posteriorly and meet in the midline, and that is we call as an that is the, we are going to call as a, that is a almost all the insertion point of the muscles of the constrictor. So this is all about the today's topic, including applied anatomy. You have to remember pharyngitis, dysphagia, pharyngeal diverticulum, then adenoids, tonsillitis, tonsillectomy. So almost all this is about the today's lecture. So here I am completed the almost all remain two important topic remain from my syllabus, that is the larynx and pharynx. So we have covered about the larynx and pharynx. So any questions you have, you can ask few times are there. You yourself only one by one. Anyone wants what you want next that you can tell, or any day, especially you want anything in the organs 20 marks question. So I can take, but you have to tell me that is. So almost all this is about the total today's this one.